This video is brought to you by Aura. Bullet Train has been a weird movie to look forward to. On one hand, anytime I saw the trailer for this, it felt like, oh yes, an original action comedy movie with a cast of characters who most of the time deliver. This will be a great time at the movies. And on the other hand, the trailer sucked, and the movie looked kinda bad. I have some very mixed feelings on this movie now that I've seen it, and I want to get into it. Bullet Train is about a bunch of people on a bullet train, and they all kind of have something to do with one another. All of those things are for the same reason. It's very violent, and you could definitely say things go off the rails on this crazy train. Brad Pitt plays Ladybug because ladybugs are lucky and he isn't lucky, but they still call him Ladybug because it's ironic and a joke. And Ladybug is on the train to snatch a briefcase, but let's just say things, once again, off the rails crazy train. Now, if you can't tell by this comedy with a capital C, Bullet Train is an action comedy. And if I were to compare it to anything out there, I would say it's like another form of the Kingsman films or maybe the Deadpool movies, and most obviously the work of Guy Ritchie. Action films that are very smug. If I were to describe the film in a single word, it would be smug, which to some people really works. I know this style of over-the-top action comedy is the purest form of cinematic escapism for many. I'm not in that group. I don't think Bullet Train is the worst thing in the world. I don't even think it's bad. I mean, seriously, we are looking at a cast of characters who know what they're doing, and you can tell that in the film. The action sequences themselves are well choreographed and have a level of care put into them. The jokes aren't my sense of humor, but after Thor: Love and Thunder, I will truly take anything when it comes to blockbuster comedies these days, and it's undeniably fun. It really isn't bad, but it never feels like it goes off the rails like the crazy train it should be. I think a really irritating part of this movie is the convoluted storytelling through the editing. I mean, do we really need to show everything to learn the backstory of these characters? It's even things we've already seen. Like, there's one shot of Tangerine and Lemon in Bolivia doing some crime, and they show the shot from that scene, I kid you not, like 5 separate times. To a point where that in itself felt like a bit, but I couldn't really tell. I think we've made it clear, these brothers were in Bolivia. This Family Guy style editing where a character goes, this reminds me of that one time, and then we spend 5 minutes in that one time, is a style that gets overused to death in this movie. I don't think the film necessarily thinks the audience is dumb and needs to see all the connections, although I do think this is a very layered movie with a lot of moving pieces that would benefit from multiple viewings, but I do think this editing style is purely for aesthetics and to make this feel even more chaotic and colorful. As I mentioned, to some people it would work, but to many it will hold the film back from its true potential, because it only really feels like it works half the time. A notable scene I really loved was the Wolf's backstory with Bad Bunny. It has the sleek yet ambitious cinematography of a Euphoria cold open and didn't feel like it was interrupting anything, and it fit into the main storyline so perfectly that when it culminated into a fight scene with Brad Pitt, it just felt so satisfying and well executed. I really liked that one because it all felt like it was working together in part of a singular sequence. A lot of other sequences in this, specifically backstories, feel like they get in the way of the momentum, which is one of the biggest priorities in an action film, specifically an action comedy film. It's fast, almost as fast as the alert I received that a new credit inquiry was found associated with my credit file. And I know this because of this week's sponsor, Aura. You've heard me talk about Aura before. It's the app I use to protect my data from hackers, scammers, and spammers. What are you doing to protect yourself? If the answer is nothing, then I highly recommend you try Aura. Here's how it works. Aura continuously monitors the dark web looking for your emails, passwords, and social security numbers and sends alerts fast to your phone or email when they find anything. Aura also gives you near real-time alerts on suspicious inquiries, like if someone was opening a loan or credit card in your name. They automatically send requests on your behalf to data brokers to remove your information, helping to reduce the amount of spam and robocalls you receive. Their VPN allows you to stay anonymous online by keeping your browsing history and personal information safe and encrypted. And they have an antivirus software that will block malware and viruses before they infect your devices. Identity theft is so common that there's a new victim every 14 seconds. It costs the average victim over $1,000. Now, I'm not good at math, but a lot of identity theft has happened since I started recording this video. So protect your family and yourself from identity theft at aura.com/Karsten, also linked below in the description. If you sign up right now, Aura will give you a 2-week free trial with my link so that you can see for yourself how many times Aura finds you or your family's personal information on the dark web. And if you sign up, let me know in the comments if your personal information has been compromised. You will not regret checking. Action and comedy are all about the setup, and this film does not care about the setup. It doesn't have the airtight control that something like an Edgar Wright movie has. All the actors after a while feel like they're just hanging out with each other and riffing mediocre bits, and a camera happens to be rolling. Which I guess brings me to the writing, which is easily the core of this film's weaknesses. It is such a shame because conceptually, this story with all these characters on this one train is very exciting. I love movies with these colorful ensemble casts where the characters themselves are trying to piece things together in a high-tension scenario, and the execution from a production standpoint is actually on point. The cinematography in this movie is very smooth, the lighting is really well done. I mean, seriously, it always keeps the interior of the train looking very flashy and interesting. The CGI in the back half of the movie feels very rushed and like they were trying to just get it over with, but I think I was able to look past it. Cinematography is often overlooked in comedic filmmaking, but a specific angle and movement can take a joke from mediocre to hilarious. And this film has a lot of filmmaking techniques that elevate the comedy that is already pretty bad. It's something I can at the very least appreciate, especially because the comedic writing is so bad. I mean, really, shitballs, cool story, bro, jokes about Thomas the Tank Engine, are we serious here? Don't get me wrong here. Once again, a step up from Thor Love and Thunder in every way, let me make that clear. But oh my god, it's like you took a birthday cake and covered it with ketchup. It just ruins an otherwise great setup. A bad joke is a bad joke. They happen. Even my favorite comedies of all time will have a miss every now and then in the runtime. But when the joke is so bad and consumes so much of the runtime, it really gets in the way of everything else. That's kind of what happens here. I don't really blame the actors. They're all doing a pretty good job. Brad Pitt is charming as always. I love watching his face on the big screen. Joey King kind of surprised me. She's doing a better job than I expected her to. Bad Bunny does not have as much screen presence as he should. He really lights up the screen when he's given the chance. And then obviously Aaron Taylor Johnson and Brian Tyree Henry have really great comedic chemistry. It's a damn shame they wasted it on Thomas the Tank Engine bits. There are some cameos here and there that I will come clean do not piss me off the way they seem to piss off other people. There's one specific one of an actor who is a passenger on the train that did make me chuckle, but that's just because I think I have a crush on him. The tiniest cameo and probably most talked about one, which you'll know if you've seen the movie, that one was fine. I have no opinion on it. Let him be in the movie. It was probably meant to be. The greater themes of this film feel either non-existent or too surface level to leave a lasting impact on me, which is totally fine. I don't think anyone is looking to have a life-changing experience at Bullet Train, but the simple struggle of continuing to have bad luck in your life, and the two directions the film chooses to explore, one being killing everyone that caused something unlucky, and the other being to keep moving forward no matter how many unlucky things fall in your lap. I don't know. It was kind of a sweet message, and it worked for the film. Although I will clearly take what I can get, I'm only so critical about modern blockbuster comedies because I care, and Bullet Train is certainly shooting for the stars, but doesn't really get there. The film falls short in that the action is never able to fully break through because of the comedy, and the comedy itself isn't good enough to be interrupting the momentum the way it continuously does. So that's what I gotta say. Thanks for watching. Go watch Bullet Train and form your own opinion, and I'll see you in the next one.